What if I were to say that each night, as you shut your eyes to drift off, your soul departs from your physical form and journeys into other realms? This isn't mere fantasy. This insight was provided by Edgar Cayce, the most extensively documented psychic in America, through more than 14,000 recorded readings over a span of 4 decades in Virginia Beach. You are about to uncover 3 astonishing insights from Cayce's archives that will fundamentally reshape your perspective on sleep, dreams, and the essence of your consciousness. To begin with, there is a particular reading in which Cayce detailed precisely what occurs to your soul during slumber and why certain individuals awaken altered. Next, there are recorded instances of individuals who have mastered the ability to intentionally steer their soul's nocturnal voyages and the remarkable healing that ensued. Additionally, Cayce provided a rather alarming caution regarding the potential risks involved in soul travel and advice on how to safeguard oneself. However, prior to delving into these insights, I have a question for you. Have you ever awoken with the sensation that you've been in an entirely different place? As if you've gone through events that appeared more vivid than your actual day-to-day life? Share your experiences in the comments if you've encountered something similar, as what you're about to discover could clarify everything. Edgar Cayce was no ordinary psychic. Born in 1877 in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, he earned the nickname the Sleeping Prophet due to his ability to enter a trance-like state and provide readings with insights he had no conscious awareness of. The Association for Research and Enlightenment in Virginia Beach contains a complete collection of his recorded readings, and what they reveal about sleep may profoundly disturb you. In readings 50 and 541, delivered in 1937, Cayce made a remark that visibly unsettled his stenographer, Gladys Davis. He mentioned that sleep should not be seen as a form of rest for the soul. Instead, it serves as the soul's chance to reconnect with its genuine origin in the spiritual dimensions. Each night, as Cayce described, your consciousness detaches from the physical form and embarks on a journey through what he referred to as the borderland between the physical and spiritual realms. However, there's an even more astonishing aspect of this phenomenon that many individuals are unaware of. In reading 5-7-542, Cayce clarified that during sleep, your soul does not meander without direction. It has distinct goals and places to reach. At times, it connects with departed loved ones to maintain bonds that death could not break. Other instances find it exploring what Cayce referred to as the Hall of Records, where it gathers details about your previous incarnations and future opportunities. Most notably, your soul frequently participates in healing endeavors, benefiting not only yourself, but also others worldwide. This may clarify why you occasionally awaken feeling drained, despite having slept through the night. Your soul has been at work. This is where it becomes intriguing, and in just 3 minutes, I will reveal a documented instance that ultimately persuaded even the doubtful physicians of Cayce. Before that, however, it's essential to grasp what Cayce referred to as the silver cord. In reading 26-7-1, he depicted a silvery, otherworldly link that connects your physical form to your wandering soul. This cord, as he elaborated, is responsible for guiding your soul back to your body each morning. While it possesses flexibility and can extend through various dimensions, Cayce cautioned that it isn't unbreakable. Recall when I said that certain individuals never awaken unchanged. This relates to the experiences they undergo during these soul journeys. In 1938, Mrs. Margaret Thompson from Norfolk, Virginia, approached Cayce with an unusual issue. She would drift off to sleep as usual, but would wake up with intricate insights about unfamiliar places and individuals she had never encountered. Her dreams were not mere dreams. They were intense experiences of traveling to distant locations while her physical self stayed in bed. Throughout her experience documented in Reading 18721, Cayce revealed that Mrs. Thompson was one of the exceptional few who experienced conscious awareness during her soul's nocturnal journeys. He elaborated that she truly visited these realms in her soul's form, and the individuals she encountered were authentic souls she interacted with in the spiritual planes. However, a significant shift in understanding consciousness occurred for Mrs. Thompson and those who observed the subsequent events. Cayce informed her that she had the ability to consciously steer these journeys. Following his advice, Mrs. Thompson embarked on what Cayce referred to as directed soul travel. In just a few weeks, she shared that she had gone to visit her ailing grandmother in Ohio, located hundreds of miles away, and had somehow taken part in her recovery. The surprising detail? Her grandmother later stated that she sensed Margaret's presence that very night and started to recuperate from an illness that had baffled doctors for months. This wasn't an isolated incident. The ARE archives were filled with numerous similar documented examples where individuals have discovered how to utilize their soul's nocturnal travels for healing and assisting others. Hold on. Here's what Cayce disclosed regarding the risks that often go unnoticed by many. In his reading 57543, he provided a caution that should worry us all. He elaborated that while someone is asleep and their soul is on a journey, their physical form becomes susceptible to what he referred to as earth-bound entities. These are spirits who have passed away, yet remain tethered to the physical realm, either unable or unwilling to ascend to higher spiritual planes. Cayce detailed how these entities may try to inhabit empty physical bodies during sleep, potentially leading to shifts in personality, mysterious health issues, or what we might now classify as psychological disorders. This alters everything regarding the reasons some individuals awaken with varied sensations, the intense realism of nightmares, and the enduring nature of certain sleep disruptions that continue despite medical intervention. According to Cayce, the answer lies in implementing spiritual safeguards prior to slumber. In his examination of Reading 281.13, he offered detailed guidance that he asserted would shield both the wandering spirit and the physical form left behind. In 1941, James Whitfield, a businessman hailing from Richmond, Virginia, sought Cayce's help after months of unsettling sleeping episodes. He described awakening with scratches across his skin, experiencing fatigue despite a full 8 hours of rest, and enduring nightmares so lifelike that they resembled physical assaults. Cayce's reading 36591 indicated that Whitfield's soul was becoming ensnared in what he referred to as the lower astral realms while he slept. These spiritual planes, situated near the earth, serve as gathering places for negative energies and troubled souls. By adhering to Cayce's protective guidelines, which involved specific prayers and mental states before bedtime, Whitfield's experiences changed dramatically. In just a month, his sleep became serene, his energy was revitalized, and he began to experience what he called beautiful spiritual encounters during his slumber. However, the most astonishing aspect of Whitfield's journey underscores the remarkable power of comprehending your soul's nightly travels. Cayce informed Whitfield that once he mastered the art of safely exploring the spiritual realms while asleep, he could tap into what Cayce referred to as the Akashic records. These records serve as the universal repository holding the entire history of each soul's experiences throughout all incarnations. As Whitfield began to receive insights during his slumber about his previous lives, he started to comprehend the cosmic patterns influencing his present existence. Most significantly, he gained clarity regarding his true life purpose. The change was so profound that Whitfield abandoned his corporate career to become a spiritual counselor, assisting others in navigating their own soul journeys. His experience is chronicled in the ARE files as one of the most thorough examples of an individual learning to consciously engage with their soul's nocturnal travels. You may be curious about how to recognize if your soul is journeying while you sleep. More importantly, how can you ensure these experiences are advantageous rather than troubling? In reading 57544, Cayce outlined specific indicators of active soul travel. These include dreams that appear more vivid than reality, awakening with insights gained during sleep, the sensation of working or traveling throughout the night, dreams involving flying or floating, and most notably, encounters with deceased individuals who seem very much present and aware. If you're noticing any of these signs as described by Cayce, it suggests that your soul is indeed traveling during sleep. The key question is whether this journey is intentional and safeguarded, or if it involves aimlessly exploring spiritual dimensions. What even surprised Cayce's medical associates was the remarkable healing potential of intentional soul travel. Dr. Harold Riley, a longtime partner of Cayce in Virginia Beach, recorded instances where individuals experienced healing while asleep by their souls, journeying to what Cayce referred to as healing temples in spiritual realms. One particular patient, Sarah Martinez from Norfolk, dealt with chronic arthritis that had not responded to any medical interventions. During her life reading 43521, Cayce informed her that her soul could access spiritual healing centers during slumber, where advanced souls would address her ailments. After following Cayce's guidance for preparing for healing sleep, Sarah began to have dreams of being in magnificent temples where luminous beings conducted healing work on her body. In just 3 months, her arthritis symptoms started to fade away. Medical evaluations validated what appeared to be unthinkable. The inflammation in her joints was lessening, her ability to move was improving, and her blood tests indicated alterations that left her doctor puzzled from a conventional standpoint. However, there's something even more significant that Cayce disclosed about these spiritual healing centers. As stated in reading 5749-6, these healing temples are not limited to access during sleep. Cayce detailed how advanced souls capable of conscious soul travel can enter these centers via deep meditation while awake, tapping into healing energies that exceed those found in the physical realm. This insight piqued the interest of medical professionals who started investigating Cayce's assertions regarding consciousness and healing. Dr. William McGarry, the founder of the ARE Clinic in Phoenix, Arizona, devoted decades to documenting instances of healing resulting from what Cayce termed soul travel to spiritual healing centers. His research, preserved at the Association for Research and Enlightenment, includes numerous cases where patients reported remarkable improvements in chronic ailments after mastering Cayce's techniques for conscious sleep travel. At this point, Cayce's teachings can be immediately applicable in your life, and this knowledge may revolutionize your sleep starting tonight. In the reading 57455, Cayce outlined what he referred to as the protocol for preparing for spiritual sleep. To begin, it's essential to establish a clear intention regarding your soul's journey before falling asleep. This could involve healing, gaining knowledge, assisting others, or seeking insight into life choices. Your soul requires a sense of purpose. Additionally, Cayce highlighted the necessity of spiritual safeguarding. He advised visualizing a surrounding white light and invoking your highest spiritual guides to ensure protection while engaging in soul travel. Thirdly, and this may come as a surprise, Cayce advised that you should sleep with your head facing north. He elaborated that this orientation aligns your body with the Earth's magnetic field, which facilitates and enhances the safety of soul travel. Fourthly, it's important to maintain a dream journal next to your bed. Cayce emphasized that a large majority of individuals forget around 90% of their soul's nighttime journeys within moments of waking. Writing down these experiences right away aids in recalling and understanding your soul's adventures. However, the crucial aspect of Cayce's teachings on sleep, which could fundamentally alter your perspective on rest and spiritual growth, is this. In reading 57547, Cayce disclosed that conscious soul travel during sleep represents humanity's inherent condition. He noted that contemporary existence, marked by stress, artificial lighting, and a lack of spiritual engagement, has led many individuals to become unaware of their soul's nighttime endeavors. Instead of acquiring a new skill, the process of consciously engaging in soul travel involves rediscovering an ancient talent innate to all humans. This sheds light on the reason why children frequently describe intense dreams and spiritual encounters, which adults tend to regard as mere fantasy. As stated by Cayce, children haven't lost the ability to be aware during soul journeys. In 1939, Robert Jenkins from Virginia Beach took his 7-year-old daughter to Cayce because she persistently claimed to converse with her late grandfather each night in her dreams. Cayce's reading 2547-1 validated that the girl was truly connecting with her grandfather's spirit during her sleep journey. Furthermore, Cayce noted that the grandfather was assisting in preparing her for future obstacles she would encounter in life. Instead of dismissing these experiences, Cayce urged the family to respect and nurture the child's inherent abilities for soul travel. This brings to light a significant inquiry regarding what our modern society has lost and what we can reclaim by exploring Cayce's insights on sleep and soul travel. Prepare to have your entire perspective on death and consciousness challenged. In reading 5754 Dr. 8, Cayce elucidated that what we refer to as death is merely the soul's lasting separation from the physical form. This process mirrors what occurs during sleep, with the distinction that the silver cord is cut instead of remaining intact. This indicates that each night while you rest, you are essentially rehearsing for the eventual change that comes with death. According to Cayce, souls that practice conscious travel during their sleep experience smoother transitions when they depart from their physical forms permanently. Martha Williams, an older woman from Norfolk, approached Cayce in 1942 aware of her terminal cancer diagnosis. Instead of seeking ways to extend her life, she inquired about how to ready her soul for what was to come. In session 3946-1, Cayce shared methods for conscious soul travel that would assist her in navigating the spiritual realms following her passing. In her last months, Martha dedicated herself to the practice of detaching her awareness from her physical form while she slept, essentially preparing for the journey of her soul. According to her family, her passing was exceptionally tranquil. She went to bed one night and did not awaken in her physical body, as her spirit had already mastered the route to elevated spiritual realms. This view on death and the journey of the soul carries significant meanings for our comprehension of grief, awareness, and the persistence of relationships beyond the confines of physical existence. Here's what Cayce shared regarding how to preserve bonds with those we have lost, which may offer solace to anyone grieving the loss of a cherished person. As stated in reading 5754-9, souls that have departed from their physical forms frequently visit their loved ones who are asleep, offering comfort, guidance, and sustaining their relationships. These instances are not merely dreams or products of imagination. They represent genuine soul-to-soul interactions that take place during what is known as sleep travel. Cayce elucidated that the spiritual realms accessed by souls during sleep overlap with the domains where souls exist post-death. This allows for ongoing interactions that many individuals undergo but fail to recognize as authentic spiritual connections. According to Cayce, the essential factor is cultivating the proper spiritual mindset and preparing for sleep in a way that facilitates these connections to manifest consciously, rather than being lost upon awakening. However, there's something even more extraordinary about what Cayce imparted regarding soul travel and uncovering insights about one's life purpose. In his reading 575410, Cayce elaborated on how souls can journey during sleep to what he referred to as the council chambers, where enlightened spiritual entities assist individual souls in grasping their karmic patterns and life missions. David Patterson, a striving artist from Richmond, underwent a life reading in 1940 during which Cayce informed him that his soul was already visiting these council chambers in his sleep. However, he wasn't able to recall the insights he was receiving. By following Cayce's guidance for preparing for conscious sleep, Patterson began to remember vivid spiritual experiences where he encountered wise beings who revealed his past lives as an artist and illuminated how his present creative challenges were integral to his soul's process of learning. The insights he gained during these nocturnal journeys profoundly changed his artistic output. Within just a year, Patterson's artwork started to embody spiritual motifs that struck a chord with audiences in a manner his earlier pieces never achieved. Notably, Patterson mentioned that the methods he discovered through soul travel started to integrate into his conscious, creative process. He spoke of being influenced by the same spiritual mentors he encountered during his sleep, even while he was alert and engaged in painting. This highlights an essential aspect of Cayce's teachings. Soul travel while asleep is not distinct from our waking experiences. Its purpose is to enrich and direct your conscious life. This is where Cayce's advice becomes crucial for those looking to cultivate these skills. In his readings 575-411, Cayce warned that trying to compel soul travel or pursuing it with self-serving intentions can result in perilous spiritual realms. He recounted instances where individuals found themselves ensnared in lower astral domains or drew in negative entities due to inappropriate spiritual practices. According to Cayce, the key to soul travel lies in approaching it with the highest spiritual intent and adequate protection. Your motivation should stem from a desire to serve others, pursue spiritual growth, or promote healing, rather than from mere curiosity or the quest for personal power. This is why Cayce repeatedly highlighted the importance of prayer, meditation, and ethical living as essential foundations for safe soul travel. The spiritual dimensions react to the state of your heart and consciousness, rather than solely to your methods. This insight ties Cayce's teachings on sleep to his wider spiritual philosophy, illustrating the significance of this knowledge for the spiritual advancement of everyone. Cayce proposed that humans are not merely physical entities possessing souls, but rather souls momentarily inhabiting physical forms for the purposes of growth and service. Gaining insight into soul travel while asleep aids in recalling your genuine spiritual identity and mission. This alteration in viewpoint transforms your entire approach to sleep, dreams, and spiritual growth. Rather than viewing sleep as a state of unconscious rest, you come to see it as a chance for your soul to engage in purposeful spiritual endeavors. The ramifications reach well beyond personal experience. Cayce proposed that as an increasing number of individuals engage in conscious soul travel, the overall spiritual awareness of humanity will expand. resulting in advancements in healing, communication, and comprehension of consciousness itself. Now, I'd like to present the most practical advice Cayce offered for those eager to safely and effectively embark on their soul's nocturnal adventures. Firstly, create a regular spiritual practice while you are awake. Cayce emphasized that conscious soul travel emerges naturally from spiritual growth, rather than being a skill that can be acquired through sheer willpower. Secondly, establish a tranquil sleeping space that nurtures spiritual encounters. This involves ensuring your bedroom is tidy and serene, steering clear of large meals prior to bedtime, and adhering to consistent sleep routines that resonate with your body's natural cycles. Thirdly, form the practice of spiritual readiness before you go to sleep. Cayce suggested particular prayers and meditation techniques that help align your awareness with elevated spiritual intentions before your soul embarks on its nightly journeys. Lastly, foster the skill to recall and document your spiritual experiences. Cayce emphasized that the connection between conscious and unconscious spiritual practices lies in memory and contemplation of your soul's nighttime experiences. However, the most crucial takeaway from Cayce's teachings on soul travel is its potential to revolutionize not only your sleep, but your whole spiritual path. He believed that mastering conscious soul travel is fundamentally about getting ready for your soul's evolutionary journey beyond the physical realm. Each night while you sleep, you have the chance to enhance your spiritual growth and assist others. According to Cayce, those who excel in these abilities during their earthly existence become the elevated spiritual guides and healers who support others in spiritual dimensions. Your journeys of the soul during sleep are equipping you for forms of spiritual service that reach well beyond your present life. This view elevates sleep from merely a biological requirement to a chance for spiritual growth, turning your bedroom into a base for exploring consciousness and contributing to the spiritual advancement of humanity. Archives from ARE contain numerous accounts showing that thousands have effectively mastered these techniques, significantly altering their experiences during sleep and enhancing their spiritual growth while awake. The issue at hand is not whether soul travel in sleep is genuine. Cayce's comprehensive documentation of 14,000 readings offers compelling proof of these occurrences. The essential question is whether you are prepared to actively engage in your soul's nightly journeys and tap into the spiritual potential awaiting you in realms beyond the physical world. As you settle in for the night, remember that you're not merely allowing your body to rest. Instead, you are embarking on a spiritual quest that may facilitate connections with those who have passed on. This journey can bring healing for both yourself and others, uncover insights related to your life's purpose, and promote the growth of your soul as it moves toward higher levels of consciousness. The insights and cautions provided by Edgar Cayce regarding soul travel during sleep serve as a guide for humanity on the path of conscious spiritual growth, beginning the moment you recognize that sleep is not the conclusion of consciousness, but the commencement of your soul's most significant endeavors. Every night, your soul departs from your body. The only thing left to consider is whether you will become aware of this journey or keep missing out on the most significant spiritual chance accessible to humanity.